TMI reshipped, maybe all 300 different tracking numbers, and I can just have this one returned back to them. I'm gonna have to see what I can do to get this.
But it doesn't need to get returned to them. I want it. That's why I bought it.
I know, I'll see what I.
Oh, got a new box from TMI. What do we got? Here she is, 1964 C10. We're gonna put the Duramax and the two-wheel drive Allison in there, making it a legitimate tow truck. Because it's not super structurally sound, I'm gonna make my own cab. I'll grab some steel and we'll bend up some floor patches for the front, finish up the firewall. I'm waiting for this for 7 months. All right, so while we're waiting for the parts from FedEx, we're gonna make the mounts for the exhaust and the cab mounts, so the cabs are in place, so we can set the cab in place for the last time. All right, so we're still missing a few pieces. We're missing the bracket to hold the seat in place and the center console. And rather than relying on FedEx, we thought we would fly down to California and knock on TMI's door and see what's what. And now, that's a joke. We didn't actually do that, but we did get the chance to walk through their manufacturing facility in California in January. Now, super cool, and we'll get to that in a minute, but what's even cooler is if you are a Builders Tier member on thebossgarage.com, we can get you the same discount that we got on these seats, and we will be able to do custom colors for you guys. Now, this is a one-off, as far as I know. These are the colors. This is exactly what I wanted to match my truck. And even though TMI seats are available through a pile of other retailers, we will be the only ones that can get you a custom color outside of TMI. Whatever you want, whatever fits your project, we can help broker that deal to get the custom interior that you need. So definitely check out our website, but watch this video. Everything's made in-house and a lot of attention goes to detail at the place. Here we go.
Basically, we bring in the cars, we work out the patterns, make our own mounting brackets, design all of our seats and our interiors. We do our full door panels. This is our 69 Chevelle. It's in pieces right now, but we're just finalizing it, and hopefully we'll be able to put this on the market in the first quarter. We try to work off our original OEM unmolested cars that haven't been wrecked, and so that everything fits when the customer gets them. So we'll take a whole car, we'll design door panels, rear quarters, we do the dashboards, steering columns, center consoles, we do the whole thing, carpet kits, trunk kits. We try to send that all to you in a box, and then you just go and install it, and everything hopefully works out good and everybody's happy. This is our prototype room. We will make up all the patterns, get everything ready to go out on the floor, and set them up for all of our automated cutters, and then it will go to the sewing department. This is our cutting department. We have a lot of automated cutters that we use. This is our fusing machine. It will come over there. We have all of our vinyls and all the special colors that you want to choose from. And so this is where it comes out. This is the initial stage. We cut out all the pieces and get those ready for you. Preparing all of our patterns for a 62 Nova trunk kit that's available. So he's setting all this up, getting it ready for production. This is our foam department. We shoot all our own foam. We do all that in-house so we can regulate it and get you the best quality out there. So basically this is where we wrap all of our dashboards, headliners, door panels, quarter panels, and it's quite a production process. And then here's all the stuff that's ready to be wrapped right here, already pre-sewn, ready to go. This is our vacuum form department. We make our own buckets and such out of ABS plastic. This is our vacuum form machine right here. And then we will step over and then we'll cut it on our 5-axis. This is our welding department. We do all of our own frames in-house. We cut the metal. We got Scotchmans over there that we make our own brackets. They weld them up and get them to you, and everything's ready to go once you get them from the box.
That looks pretty sick. Okay, so the hardest part is actually getting the old panel off. The other one didn't come too bad, but one of these drivers is a must. What it is a ramp. So as you hit it, it's turning it as you hit it, so you don't strip these little bolts. Because, yeah, Phillips was a good idea. Like, Robertson's 10 times better. And it's not because Robertson was invented in the town that I live in. True fact. You see the rust falling. It's so bad. Yeah, nice. This little square thingy just came undone. So I gotta drill it out, but it's almost impossible to drill it out because it's just gonna sit there and spin. Vice grips. Because I didn't put all the screws in, and if you can see right there, the paint isn't quite there. We'll paint the entire interior all at once. We'll do that all at the same time, but that is how it's gonna look. As this project goes, you put it in, you take it out, you put it back in again, then you take it back out, and you do that 4 more times, and then we're finally there. So, a lot of work, but it's gonna pay off. Here we go. All right, so while we're waiting for the parts from FedEx, we're gonna make the mounts for the exhaust and the cab mounts so the cabs are in place, so we can set the cab in place for the last time. But yeah, off with the cab again. Here we go. So Vince is making another cab mount, which is going around the exhaust. We've got our exhaust hanger here from Lyle's, which is just a rod that comes down. We'll bend that and we'll hook that nicely around. That way it's not gonna wanna roll. And then we've got a cab mount on the front and another exhaust hanger at the back too. And then we got our 90 coming out the back for our stack. So we'll be able to drop the cab down in a minute and then we'll see what height the stacks are gonna be at. Okay, so we kind of assembled the truck again just to see what it would look like after we welded the stacks on it. I absolutely hate them. I remember doing it before. If you go back to a bunch of previous videos, I had it where it was looking good. So I think the biggest issue is they're just too tall. I want them to come out just like even have the curve right start at the peak of the roof and then curl out. So what we're gonna do is take the wood out of the box again. We can pop this out of the muffler and then we can take it back to get expanded. So we can slide this piece on top of that piece. That'll allow us to rotate and go up and down a little bit so we have a perfectly matched height. All right, so we need to drop it 6 inches. So we'll cut 3 inches off and we'll see if they can expand 3 inches. Might have to cut off 4 inches. They might only be able to expand 2. Expanding 4 inches is quite a bit. There we go. Someday I'll buy a bandsaw. So what we'll do is we tack these in place. We'll weld it. We'll try to put a lot of heat into here, which will get it nice and hot. So that'll allow us to bend it, weld it a little bit, and carry the heat through and bend it all nicely all the way around. Okay, so we're trying to do as many steps as we can at the same time. So we got our exhaust hanger welded solid now. I can put that in place. While that's cooling down, if you notice our mounts, I welded this one on the top solid. I'm not on the sides yet. I'm 90% sure this is where the cab is going to sit at the front because that's as low as I can get it without hitting the exhaust pipe running down the firewall. And that's as low as I can get the exhaust to my shock tower. So everything kind of fits nicely in between. We got this universal cab mount kit from Summit. A bunch of washers, nuts and bolts, and bushings. So basically this is gonna go right here with a bolt going through the bottom. I will have to take the exhaust off to tighten the cab. That is just one of those things. But once I have it where I want, I'm gonna start by making the front cab mount, and then I'm gonna take the rear cab mount off and just bolt it to the bottom of the cab. Then I can tilt my cab wherever I need it to be, because a 1/4 inch at the back means about a 1/2 inch, maybe an inch at the front. So I need the hood and the grille to clear my engine bay. And I can do that by tilting this just slightly one way or another. Once I have it bolted down and tight, then we can weld our box in place because the cab determines the exact height of my fenders at the back. So one thing at a time. It's going to take me a little while to fabricate these cab mounts. Once that is done, I can finish welding my rockers and the rest of the cab, the firewall, and then we can start wiring up the cab. This is cold. Let's get some stack heights. See how that looks with my donkey ears, and then go from there. Step clamps. Obviously, the step going up goes around the bigger size. You'd be surprised how many people put those in upside down. I think they're the same people that put the battery nuts on backwards because they think it's a lock nut. So Lyle's is about an hour away from us. So I went in town there, and Egger Truck and Machine, where I used to work, flared this for me. And they didn't even charge me. So I think it was a new guy. I almost did it. Almost put it on upside down. There. Now if I'm walking by and the truck's deflated, it'll just blow it right in my face. Aaron was very, I don't think he liked having them in the box. He wanted them outside the box, but they would actually stick out kind of past the cab. They would be right about here. And I know one of us is, at some point, somebody's gonna get burned touching them, getting in and out of the truck. So it's much safer back here, even though I don't like the look as much. And I'm not a stack guy, if they don't warm up to me, then we'll probably just dump it out in front of the tire or maybe behind the tire, who knows. I can simply tilt that 90 sideways and then do another 90 and put it up on the side. You got lots of options. Right now this is most cost effective, and I think it'll look all right. Now everything is stainless. This is just normal tin, because this is gonna rust like crazy and look just like the rest of the truck. So you have some like streaks coming down. It's gonna look perfect. Okay, so this one's about 2 inches higher than that one. We can cut that down. I think that one does look better. But comment down below if you think we should go out the side of the box or if we should just dump it behind, or if you're okay with this. I think this is one of those things where I gotta stare at it for a good couple of weeks with the front clip and everything on it, and then see if I like it. I might eventually build a headache rack kind of for this that will swivel with the boom, and then have maybe 2 old vintage whoopee lights on there or something like that. And I think the stacks nice and close beside it will really accentuate that, and nobody's gonna get burned with the stacks on the inside. So I think, comment down below, but I think we're leaving it. I don't know yet. Comment down below. All right, so that's the thickness of the bushing. Now I need to have a little piece of steel that comes down and meets that. Problem is, I think I went a little bit too low with the mount. Kitty, what are you doing? What are you doing? But what I did do is I grabbed some nice heavy duty steel, and we can put the mount nicely right on top of that. So we'll weld this to the bottom of the floor. We'll do that, then we'll set the mount in place, and then we'll take the cab off, flip it on its side, and then as the angle changes, we'll go up to the inner rocker just on its side there. Okay, so there's my mount, there's my rubber. The other half of the rubber would go on the bottom like this when there's a hole there. Now, just because of the temperature, I think I'll have to raise that bracket up a bit. But cut a nice little 6-inch piece. That's basically the frame mount. So weld that to the floor, and then we'll continue that on so that it butts up against the inner rocker. And I'd love to do that, except the rest of my TMI parts came in. Look at that. Oh, very, very nice. The bracket, very straightforward, just 4 bolts, 2 on either side, slide through the holes, put a couple nuts on there, and then you just sit back and relax. Go for a drink. I don't know if we are allowed to drink inside the C10, but that would be pretty cool. There's that cup holder that they showed in the video, pretty sweet. And then this actually comes off yet, so that slides off. It velcros onto the back. It slides off, and then we can I can still pick up both my daughters from school, so I don't have to put one on the bus and obviously let the other one know that she's my favorite. That would be wrong. That would be very wrong. Don't do that. Get a bench seat. But for now, let's finish the video off by putting this interior in it and seeing what that looks like, because this changes the entire truck. Here we go. Katie? Good enough? You coming in? Can you imagine it? I love it. I think we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna put an actual nice stereo there, nav. I don't think we're gonna do a whole lot to the interior. We might spray foam in between this and the ceiling as best as we can. Might do that when we flip up the cab. But for now, I just want to put the dash in there. Show you guys the dash. Nice interior, door panels, and then that's gonna be the gauge cluster in here. Oh, lots more good stuff coming up. If you haven't checked out thebossgarage.com, check that out. Lots of good stuff on our website, including other people's builds. And yeah, see you on the next one. Get out there, get filthy, work on it. If you're not filthy, you're not rich. Here we go.